Good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. And my name is Ron Foster, and I'm with my crew, my panel, my crew, my friends, my closest friends, believe it or not. And that is my Gwendolyn and my Chris. What's going on, sir and lady?
I'm good.
I'm good.
That
I think everybody's good this morning.
smile, that Gwendolyn smile.
Man, I've been up since 4:30.
Ooh, you
Come
sound
on
like
now.
me yesterday. Yesterday I was up at 4.
Yeah, because I was down yesterday with the sinuses and everything, and I had to.
Oh.
My sister-in-law just texted and said, "I know you feel a little bit better, but don't take your germs to the babies." I'm like, God, because I really hate missing my tutoring time.
Oh
But
man.
I know that if I was still in the office, I would tell my
Mhm.
my team, don't bring your germs
That's
to
right.
work.
Don't bring the germs.
So,
I always
yes,
tell
so
people,
4:30.
don't bring the germs.
Don't bring the
And
germs.
kids are incubators.
And
You
kids
probably
are
got it from them.
incubators.
They probably gave it to me.
That's what I'm saying.
You with kids, you're gonna get sick. That just comes with the
Listen.
territory.
If you got kids, if you work in a school, you are going to get sick.
I always say I gauge my visits to people's homes based on children. If they got children, Ron won't be there.
Well, I love my babies. I do love my babies.
I was at the stock exchange working and for our company, and one of our coworkers had children, and I blurted out, kids, incubators of germs. And she got so upset. She was upset with me for days.
Really?
It's all right. It's the truth.
But they
And
are.
everyone
We
knows
all
that.
know that
Yeah.
if you have children, you are guaranteed to be out sick from work because your children,
Yes.
they get contaminated by other
They
children.
touch everything. They put things in their mouth.
They're in their
on
mouth,
their
they're in
face.
their
Yeah.
nose, they're in their ears, they're in their eyes, and that's
where you get sick.
That's
Yeah.
how you get sick.
Oh,
And she was upset with me for a long. I mean, she was a sweetheart. She wasn't a
She'll
bad
get
person.
over it.
She was a sweetheart. She was like, Ron, I can't believe you said that. She used to clean the counters and everything, it wasn't because she was, she was truly a germaphobe. But that does not change the fact when your kids go to school, they're bringing home the germs. Your
I have a
folks
thing about
spoil a
pets.
defense.
Well, particular pets, like people who have dogs and stuff. Sometimes I don't think they realize that everything has a smell. Now I had a rabbit. Rabbits don't smell. I'm just letting you know that right now. But like dogs and stuff, like they have hair and stuff, and cats, they have hair everywhere. There are just certain pets I do like, but typically if you have pets, I don't want to bother visiting because I don't want that stuff on my clothes.
I think it's the owner, because some people take care of their pets. They wash them, they clean them, they groom them, they put the powder on them, and they make them smell nice and look good and feel good. But there are most pet owners. I don't know.
All right, hold up. I'm gonna say something controversial right now, and it's on the same lines of pets. If I go to your car and I see that your car is filthy, one, I'm not getting in it, and then two, that is what your house looks like. Because if you can keep your car like that, where other people can see it out in public, can you imagine what your house looks like?
Well, I have to say contrary to that one though, because I had a neighbor that lived around the corner from me. He used to have this wicked, he had a BMW, and the BMW has so much trash in it. And I said, how is it possible that this car is so freaking dirty? I mean, it had paper. It looked like he lived in the car.
Yeah, like food wrappers and food cartons.
Everything. It had everything in this car. I was like, but his home was immaculate.
All right, well, hold on, let me answer this, because the only caveat to that is if you have children. If you have children, you get a pass, because kids, I mean, there's but so much you can do, especially when kids are eating in the back, and especially if you have more than one child too, and you're just constantly running in and out, and they're eating and leaving crumbs in between the seats. After a while, this stuff accumulates. So I give you somewhat of a pass. But if you're a grown ass adult and you've got McDonald's carts,
speaking of McDonald's, you had McDonald's wrappers
and French fries under your seat and newspapers and like toilet paper, like you live in there. Like, no, you disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
I had a coworker whose car was it was gross. Like I had to carpool one day and I had to move something, and there was a breakfast plate. So he had a plate from his house, but he had like jelly and eggs, and so it was the remnants of that. And I just thought to myself, how do you leave this stuff in your car like that? But his house was the exact same way. Now my husband, his car is, I don't know what goes on in his vehicles. I mean, literally, I'll get it. He's like, don't
talk about Mr. Jack.
I'm talking about Mr. Jack. I don't know how we've been married. It'll be 9 years this year. I don't know how we've gotten this far, because my car, like, if I have to pick up something, right?
The tails between two cars.
I don't want the smell. So I will immediately spray it down the moment I get out. I don't like anything dangling. I don't like anything jingling. I need clean in terms of atmosphere, smell, environment, all of it. I don't know how he does what he does.
Gwendolyn is very meticulous about the car for y'all.
Luckily, Ronald and I are very particular. And we share. We only have one car for the household, because we don't need two cars. But anyway, we're very clean. And like, if we leave like a receipt like in the side glove compartment, we're shaming the other person. We are shaming the other person. And I've gotten shamed a lot of times.
Anyway, let's say good morning to some folks. This is a good way to start the morning. First person in the building with the gold this morning is Mr. Adrian 324. He says morning. And Gwendolyn was second with the silver, and she says good morning, but she said good morning twice today. And the bronze goes to our wonderful Chris R. She says good morning, good morning. And Mr. Bryson says, let's take a deep breath. What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, Gwendolyn? What's up, everybody? Happy Chicago Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
Adrian will be watching, I'm sure, Chicago Wednesdays. This is Wednesdays as well. Let's see. Hey, Lay. She said, hey, Ron G and Chris, what's going on? Miss Golden, the golden child, is in the building. And we have in here also, Bryce has something else to say. He says, what? We got a lot of things to talk about today. I mean, a lot of things to talk about. Okay, so make sure if you want to put your topic in, you have a topic in the comments, put T, and then your whatever you want to talk about. Okay, and we have in the building our wonderful house photographer, Mr. Anthony Rowland Photography. He says, good morning, beautiful people. And also says, I didn't start being sick until I became a father.
We all said the same thing.
And let the choir say in harmony. Amen. Oh, I was going to praise that, but okay.
What's up, from Bryson? What's up, Chris from Bryson? And what's up, Anthony? What's up, Bryson? What's all the love between y'all? Hey, wonderful Tanya is in the building. Tanya Moore is in the building. She says, good morning, family. And we have my Carter is my Cartery. Grosser? Am I saying that right? Grossy is in the building. Hi, what's going on? Welcome. There's a hi there. A new person in the building. I see.
Yeah.
Welcome. And Chris says, let me go clean my car, but my house stays clean. I'm telling you,
we're not shaming nobody.
Some of the correlation between the two is, I think, is all about the individuals, because I've seen people with dirty cars but beautiful homes. I can't coincide or
I don't know. I can't put the two and two together. Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
I see it because my husband has piles. I mean, this house, I'm beyond not closing doors. He has piles, and I'm like, babe, what is this? What is this?
I just poor Mr. Jack. Poor Mr. Jack.
Now, I would say, if I may share one fun fact, working at the Container Store, people always assumed that we were like really organized, but there was a young lady who worked at the Container Store who was on Oprah because she was a hoarder, and they would tell her, and they were like, "Hey, are you that chick?" She was like, "Yeah, that's me." So,
Adrian,
look,
Adrian said, "Kids are petri dishes."
Yes, they are.
They are. And Bryson says, has everybody been first of all, he talks about the Super Bowl. Let me go back. Let me not forget this particular statement. The Super Bowl is 4 days away. And I want to put a pin in that one because I want to ask some questions about that one. That one gets a pin. Okay, got a pin on that. So good. So also, Bryson says, has everybody known that Sheree Shepherd and Kelly Clarkson talk shows been canceled? Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. And also Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop New York got canceled because of the drama reality TV.
Well, again, hold on.
These industries are losing ground.
Yeah, but I from what I heard, I could be wrong. Bryson, correct me. Basketball Wives, I think Shawnee, she decided to end the show. Or was it canceled? Because I know she came out with a statement, I think last week. I don't watch that show, but I seen one season, the very first season, maybe, I think. But yeah, here's the thing too with the Kelly Clarkson and Sheree Shepherd. Kelly Clarkson was given the opportunity to announce that her show is being canceled, put out a statement on her behalf, whereas Sheree Shepherd was not. It was told that her show was canceled and she didn't get a say in putting it out there first like Kelly Clarkson did.
They did a Don Lemon. They did a Don Lemon on her.
Kelly, but at least the nice thing about it is, or the least of it is, at least she gets to fulfill the complete season. Both of them, they'll have their they'll finish out these seasons, which runs until the beginning of the fall, and then they're off the air. But I did also hear that Sheree Shepherd and the company that she's with are trying to go around and see if they can get it on some other type of network or something like that. Here's my thing, people. YouTube is a platform. Move your shows to YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
You're going to get more viewers.
Over to YouTube. Yes.
Yeah.
We're living in these YouTube streets. But Adrian says Basketball Wives ended after 12 seasons to allow executive producer Shawnee Henderson to move on to new projects.
Yeah, that's what she put out a statement saying that she was moving. She was decided to end the series and move on to do other things. But Black women's voices are being silenced.
Sherry to say she has C and will speak on it upon her return, says Chris R. And also in the building is Dr. Tachi. She says, hello, hello. Tachi is in the building. And Adrian said, going back to the car since we were there just a little moment ago. I'm just going back because it's just a moment ago. He says, Ron is my witness. I keep my car pretty clean. It is spotless. Yes, 99.9%. So there you go. And that car drives like anyway, we won't talk about the car, but that car is like the Batmobile. I call it the Batmobile. It's like in it, it's like phew. Anyway, Adrian says COVID's still out in these streets. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
you don't realize it. And now you got
COVID and the flu.
So if you have children and you are going to South Carolina, I think is the state with the highest cases of measles, and there's another neighboring state, I do believe. I'm not sure which one that is.
Well, not even that. Measles is having outbreaks in these concentration camps that they're building and putting out in these states.
Oh, really? Didn't realize.
Yes.
I did not know that. Oh, yes. You know why? I know why you're saying this, because I heard this morning that one of the young girls, they had to put her on some kind of quarantine before bringing her back home to her family. One of the young Spanish girls that was detained which should not have been detained. So that's interesting. Yeah, I did not know there was a correlation there to those measles and other in the concentration camps. And so also I see here JR Wheezy is in the building, 84. Hello, how you doing, JR? And Bryson says Bad Bunny about to make them MAGA folks mad and ICE folks, and they want to bring Kid Rock, and he didn't go or go to no.
He doesn't have any Grammys, so and there was a great comparison about that because the alternative Super Bowl show is going to highlight Kid Rock, who has no Grammys, who's got I believe some convictions, and then also got a bunch of a list of other
who in the Trump circle doesn't have convictions.
Yeah, the most deplorable, the best deplorable people ever.
Can we talk about the Super Bowl real quick since he made that comment?
Yes,
because so a couple of things are clearly obvious. One, a good number of Americans don't know that Puerto Rico is part of America. That's
that part. That
says a lot of something. They don't even know who is part of this country, right? So that's one. But we understand that our education system is like ridiculous. Most American citizens, God forgive me, are like at a 4th grade level. There's no reading, there's no comprehension.
No.
Their idea of research is watching somebody on TikTok or Instagram who's charismatic talk about something. That's not research, but whatever. So that's one. But the big picture is, Bad Bunny is extremely popular. And as a dear friend shared, the NFL is taking more and more of their games overseas. You want a global customer. It's about the dollar. Don't nobody get you upset. Ain't nobody and I say that ain't nobody giving no 2 cents about you being upset having this alternative halftime show. Nobody cares. Like no one cares.
But for those that don't know, they may not know the whole picture. There is a alternative halftime game that is being organized by MAGA while the Super Bowl, right?
Turning Point USA doing their alternative show. But here's the deal too. Since ICE wants to be there, I don't know any person who is an immigrant, right? As they call this illegal immigrant, who is gonna put out at least $5,000 to be at the damn Super Bowl game. Hell, I'm not even going. Who are y'all hemming up? I just need to, you know what I'm saying? Make it make sense, but whatever.
It doesn't make sense. Nothing in this time. Well, it does make sense and it doesn't make sense. I mean, think about
appearances. It's about appearances.
But how about let's go back to, since we are talking about the Super Bowl. One is, how many of you will be watching the Super Bowl this Sunday?
I'll be watching.
Elise, you're not watching the Super Bowl?
I don't watch the game. I'll probably watch the halftime. I
forgot. You have a protest on the NFL.
I don't watch the game.
I forgot. How my memory fails me. Elise is like, she's like, NFL? No.
I don't watch the games. If you look at the spit and listen to the NFL owners, y'all go ahead. Okay. I was gonna say, NFL owners are who they are.
Yes.
And when you watch it, that's who you support. So I'll watch the halftime game.
I'm sure we'll be watching the football game around here.
Well, my husband will be watching it and my daughter will watch it because they're big football fans. My other 2 kids could care less. Now, my daughter in Texas will probably watch Bad Bunny because she loves Bad Bunny.
A lot of people love Bad Bunny.
Oh, he's loved worldwide, and that's why they chose him.
And what's amazing, and a lot of his music is in Spanish. He kind of keeps the balance of English and Spanish, but people love his music even when it's just Spanish. They don't care that they may not understand the lyrics. They still love him.
Well, I mean, let's look at the facts. He just won Album of the Year this past weekend at the Grammys. He is the first. That is the first non-speaking English album that has won that in that category ever. He did his acceptance speech in Spanish.
Yes.
All right. That's a huge deal. That signifies and shows you the popularity that he has. And it's just not in the United States, which he is a United States citizen of. He is global.
Yes.
And this is not something that is recent. Bad Bunny has been popular for years.
For a long time.
Yeah, my daughter has loved him for years. I think Bad Bunny is the reason she started making sure she could understand Spanish. Because she's pretty good at Spanish, but she's been watching. She loved him for years. When she saw him with Mark Anthony, oh, she was in heaven. She was like, oh, he brought him on the stage. She was so excited.
So hold on, well, before you go, Chris, there's a lot of Seahawks in the building. So I see, is there anyone out there? Jester Hero, I love that name, Jester, another new person in the building. Says, you guys supporting Seahawks or the Patriots?
I don't care. My team's not in
I'm the Seahawks. I gave my Seahawk to my wonderful daughter. I have a beautiful Seahawk jersey, and it was holding in my drawer. And I said, you know what? It's just sitting in the drawer. And I usually wear it when the Seahawks are playing, when I used to hang out with my friends and we go to look at football games. But I was like, it's just sitting here. Why not give it to Nancy? And so Nancy is going to be able to sit in the living room with her Seahawk jersey. And I hope the Seahawks win. Because one, I do love the Seahawks. Okay. And so any Patriot folks out there?
No.
I haven't seen any Patriots. Not one. What? No Patriot folks?
Look, the people in my house was wishing they didn't make it to the
same. Right.
Our Giants was a long ways off, so they missed the mark a long time ago, unfortunately. Oh, the poor Giants.
Dr. Tasha said she go at Manchester United.
Dr. Tasha is truly a British woman.
I was gonna say
the real football. Yeah.
That's the real football, right? That is the real football. Kimmy Kim says, I'm feeling the Seahawks. Look, everyone's feeling the Seahawks. Jazzy Jazz says Seahawks, but I really don't care.
Yeah, her team was dead.
our teams are dead on arrival. Sorry. And Bryson says the first Latino took home. Okay, I will get back there, but we're on to football. And Photo Ken says, "Good morning, everyone. What's up, Ken? See you in the building." Can I say again, Ken participates in the community. Some of y'all getting your game in. I'm seeing y'all interact in the community. That's a good thing. So anyway, Adrian says, boo to everything out of Boston. Oh, Lord, goodness gracious.
Someone doesn't like Boston.
Oh, Adrian's got a competing team, right? Okay, here we go. So Arsenal, and that is also England, I do believe. And so what else is in the news before we dig into something? Yes, go ahead,
quick comment. As you all were talking about, I came in when you were talking about the Super Bowl and the ice, right? Mm-hmm. So you talk about who's attending, but you have to think about who's working.
That part. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Can't forget who's working.
ICE is supposed to be
a simply just harass all the workers as they come in.
Yeah, they should make their lives.
If you do that, then who's gonna do all the things that they do? I mean, between like run the concession stands, cleaning, and all the support. I mean, it takes a well-oiled machine to run these type of venues and events. When you go and take away these people, all the quote-unquote rich people that need those services, what are they gonna do? This administration is so fucked up. They don't know. They're not smart enough.
They don't see the long game.
They're no at all.
They don't, and that's why.
What is your purpose of going to the Olympics? What is your purpose of going to the Olympics? You have no jurisdiction.
Yes,
you're in international waters, international lands. You have nothing to do.
Why are you wasting tax dollars sending ICE agents to Italy?
Right. I mean, everyone there is international, so why are you going?
Yes. What's the purpose?
You were not on American soil.
Right.
What is the purpose? But again,
for security.
Speaking of, and I now am not going to say FIFA. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, FA. I'm going to say the World Cup. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the corrections. Ron, just say the World Cup.
World Cup.
Just say the World Cup.
Don't try to say FIFA.
No FIFA. Yeah. World Cup. So the World Cup, France for those French, and the UK have started a petition to say, you know what? Let's cancel. Let's not go.
I don't blame them.
Protests going to the World Cup in America. That was and it's growing momentum. That
makes a great statement.
Well, I said this a long time ago. We said that a long time ago. They should protest by not going. Right. You look, the way you hit this orange fool or Cankles, their AKA, is to hit his people in the wallets. The wallet.
But it's not just him, it's all the people who have gotten on board and who are helping make this a reality. Money is what talks, right?
Yes.
Money talks and BS. But yeah, so if you're gonna make any kind of movement, it's got to be done with money. And if people don't show up, if they stop attending, then it makes people think twice about what they're doing. Like I was talking with my husband about that Hyundai plant in Georgia. We haven't heard anything about them since.
No.
Right? Like nada. I don't think they've sent anybody back here. There's no work happening on that facility. It's that ideal. I don't think of the long game. You know, we live in an international world. You believing that you can do all this by yourself on an island is ignorant. We are intertwined in every step of the way. You can say, I only want this thing. But if you open up, say, for example, if you get any kind of book out of France, let's say that, it's going to tell you where the paper came from, but it was bound in this country, and then this part came from that country. So what you going to do? Tear out pieces that aren't from France? You know, it doesn't. We have so many things that come from so many other places. People don't really think how much the smallest thing, how many people, how many countries touch that. It's not just, I don't want this. It's bigger than that. But, you know, like I said.
And there you go. Here's from the DW. Calls grow for European teams to boycott World Cup 2026. As with Russia in 2018 and Qatar in 2022, politics are dominating the build-up to North America's 2026 World Cup. Could discontented with Donald Trump in Europe see football over heavyweights unite to boycott the tournament?
Listen, so I believe that that thing is not going to the opening ceremonies, which is customary for the president or someone in his cabinet to go, like the first lady. I don't think there's going to be any representation there. And then also, he will not be at the Super Bowl this Sunday. And the reason why they're not going is because when he's gone to football events, they've been booing him so harshly that he's finally figured out, all right, I can't go to these events because they're not cheering for me, they're booing me.
And honestly, it's time for those European countries to start doing something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys going about and allowing all of the craziness to happen. And the way and for people to start canceling their, and reservations, that's what they had to do to get them to wait.
Follow Canada. Follow Canada's all the cancellations and all of the snowbirds not coming down like they normally do. Florida has lost billions of dollars in revenue because of that.
Yep. Same thing with the border states like Minnesota, Detroit, Michigan, New York. New York said they lost lots of money, millions, I think, several million in sales and travel dollars. So all of the Maine,
Oregon,
all of these states have lost a lot of money because Canadians said, America, no Donald Trump. Well, they don't say it that way, but
who wants to go through the harassment?
Hassle.
You get off a plane and someone wants to tell you they want to look at your phone. They don't like what's in your phone.
They want your they want your phone. They want your computer.
We want to see all of your history. We want all of these things. I mean, you're almost at the point where now you have to travel with a burner phone.
Yeah.
I heard someone say that. I did hear a travel expert said to Europeans and to people outside of this country, when traveling to America, travel with a burner phone.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't make this stuff up. This is where we are. But okay, let's change subject to there's Bryson's got some subjects here. Bryson says, check out this out. The Kennedy Center is shutting down. What do y'all think? The Kennedy Center is shutting down. But I said immediately when I got the news, is because they can't get any entertainment because everyone's canceled.
We're not going. We're not going.
No one's going.
No one's going.
They moved some major events to the Warner Theater. Alvin Ailey is here at Warner Theater. They used to be at the Kennedy.
There was nothing wrong with the Kennedy Center for all these years. This man puts his name on it, and then all of a sudden, all these artists and shows have been canceled. Now they can't get in with the book there. So they say, you know what? Let's close it down for 2 years so we can do renovations because it's a shithole. Make that make sense.
Look, it was never that way before he got there.
That's right.
That part.
Right? And I had asked the question, I said, on the very top is like the museum, the tribute to John F. Kennedy and the history pieces up there. If they do something in there, they got to rip all of that out. Because they're horrible people. But no one was going. That's why they closed down.
That was it. No one's going. No one is going. And I was like, so many people just start canceling. So they were like, we're not supporting. Again, the way to win is through the wallet.
Yep.
I'm going to ask, it's a slightly rhetorical question, but also it's not. And I hate to stereotype people. I really do. But
go for it.
It's almost as if they don't understand that their policies are not popular. Like, how could you not understand that? But two, the people that you're catering to, I hate to say it because it's going to sound elitist, but they're not just that cultured. Like, I hate to say
they're not. They're
not.
The majority of them are not spending money to attend those kind of events, right?
The MAGA folks are not going to the opera.
Yeah.
The MAGA folks, the people with the red hats, are not going. They are not going.
Listen, I'm gonna say something real controversial. They can't afford it because they're on food stamps and assistance, public assistance.
They're not. Some of these places they're not cultured.
They're not.
They just have no culture.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably throw a little.
Let me clear my throat.
So that's true about a lot of them. And some of them are educated.
Yes.
This is true.
Yes.
Some of them are doctors, lawyers, and judges.
True.
Yes.
Right? We can't let them off the hook.
True.
Because we still have Supreme Court 6 out there.
Yes.
Well, that's true.
So we can't let those people off the hook. He probably made them buy a ticket to that horrible film, but
they bought the tickets. Yes, allegedly.
There's still people out there, so and there are people we know.
Yes.
Hold on. So I want to say
my mama always says it's a difference between books learning and common sense.
This is very true. Very true. I want to switch the subject just a little bit and talk about Becoming, Michelle Obama. There was a huge push for people to watch this documentary on Netflix last week. They said, let's counteract the other chicks movie that was in the theaters and let's watch Becoming. And a lot of people did. And I was one of them. Ron and I had it on a TV here in this office in the bedroom, and then we sat down, we watched it in the living room. So we had it on 3 different accounts, so we get 3 different distinctive views. Okay, now it rose on Sunday to number 8 on Netflix top 10.
It got to number 6. It got to number 6.
Okay. Yes. Now, in the regular movies and area, do you know they have since moved it to the children's section, and it's now number 4? Why is it categorized as number in the children's section? It's not a not that children can't watch it; they can, but it is not a children's documentary or film.
Right. I think it got there because people were using their alternate accounts and not considering what account they were using. And it does impact it, right? So like, I love The Dragon Prince, right? And at one point when it first came out, there were a lot of adults watching it. So it was on the adult top 10. But when the kids started watching it, it shifted. So if you know, like that part has a play in it. That was my assumption, because they don't go around moving movies. But if you have people using an alternate account, it's their kids' account because they want everyone to watch it, and you're watching on your child's account, then yeah, that's now a popular movie with the kids because there's so many people who are tagged that way watching it.
Wait, so you're saying, so for instance, I watched it on my tablet and I watched it on my laptop and I watched it on TV. So
but
that's
you
like
watch it under your no, but you watch it under yeah, right. You watch it under your account. So like on Netflix, you can have a separate children's account.
Right.
So people, that's actually a great point on.
They all have different top 10s. They all have different top 10s. So people were doing the assignment clearly under their kids' account.
At first, they were doing it under their account.
Yes.
Yeah.
I called my husband from New York and said, "I need you to watch Become." I was trying to tell him, he's so not tech savvy. I was like, "Okay, so you go to the TV and you do this." He said, "No, but he is smart enough that every account I have them on his iPad."
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, but did it get us? But I mean, to recategorize, she says, Jazzy says, Nanji, Netflix changed the category and reclassified it as under kids. So that's interesting though, because again, it had got as high as number 6. Like I had because Chris was like, Ron, it's at 8, go check it out. So I was like, okay, let me look at it. And then because one of my cousins, she put it in our family chat for all of the family to go watch the documentary. And it's an excellent documentary, by the way. I really loved the information, her commitment to young people. You learned a whole lot about the life in the White House, the stories for the children. There's a lot of information in the documentary. So for those things, we're just clicking on it because we're just clicking on to support the Black woman or that
part too, though.
But it is an excellent documentary that is not about self,
right? And it's over time
versus the other first lady who is in office. The Melania situation, there was nothing. So I've heard nothing about helping people, encouraging people, doing something to benefit people. Just saying. But again, the documentary is excellent, and we got into a family chat with one of my family members, and he was like, "Oh, they're all bribery. This is all bribery. The Michelle Obama's bribery and Melania, they're all the same." And I went, so I could not let it stand. So my other cousin was like, "Okay, Ron's been challenged," and I went back in, and I was like, first of all, Melania is in office with her husband. We all know that was a payoff or whatever kind it was to gain favor with the presidency from Bezos. Yeah. So everyone, it's common knowledge. Everyone knows it. That's just the way it is. Now he was saying, with the Obamas and the Bushes, they got rich after being in the White House. And I said, see,
after.
I said, key word, after.
Right.
After.
You're out of office. You're a public citizen.
And they have a right to be able to go and do public speaking and get paid for it and share their wisdom that they learned from being in the presidency. That's cool. But no one setting up a gold dollar, what I call that gold Visa thing, which is not really a Visa.
That part.
Or suing the IRS.
Or suing the IRS. You are president suing your own government.
Because you don't want to show your taxes.
That you're in charge of.
You can't make this stuff up.
See, I'm telling you. Yeah, y'all got a nice family chat because my family talking like that. Either I leave or I put them out the chat. I don't know. But I time for foolishness.
No, we have one family member that always leans towards the red hats. And so and I'm sitting there like, dude, why is it that you always have to say something so stupid? I don't say it like I'm a little more politically correct, but I'm like, dude, why are you always justifying the crazies? And he's a Spanish. He comes from Spanish. He comes from Venezuela. He's like, what? What the hell?
Does he think he white?
Now, I'm
that
saying,
part.
What is crazy?
That part. I'm talking calling spade a spade. He thinks he's white.
So Lainey says, it's so good to see you, Lainey. Hello. The hellos are always good. So if you want, someone said they wanted to be shouted out. If you want to be shouted out, just say hello. That's how you get a shout out in this community. Say hello. Okay,
I'm not sure if that was the right.
I don't think it was for that.
Yeah, no, that's why I just kind of left it there.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Left it dangling.
Yeah,
dangling.
you had to read between the lines with that
yes,
one.
I know. Got you.
And then Ron, I saw it because I wasn't in town. I did see the comments, but you have to understand that's cyclical. It's a pattern.
Yes,
it's a pattern. It happens. It's a pattern. It's not new. It's a pattern. So you have to acknowledging people is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's acknowledging people. You do acknowledge people, whether you catch every comment. Because I know some people may feel neglected sometimes when I'm on my live. There's no way I can talk to the person and see all of those comments at the same time. And sometimes if I go back at the end, I kind of wrap up with people because I can't catch it all. On here you can kind of let their comments be seen. But I think you can't dwell on too much.
Yes, and Adrian and Gwendolyn have been teaching me some new tricks.
No, okay.
Not to go back. Not to keep going back, because I have a habit of trying to get everyone included. So I go back to the chat, and then topic's already over. So I've been accused. Run, just keep moving on. Pop, just move on. Move on. Keep the conversation in line. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, that was more of a Bart Simpson moment, like Seymour Butts. Yeah, I'm calling for Seymour Butts. Is there a Seymour Butts here? Is anybody remember that episode on
So wait, I want to go back because I'm gonna put this up on the screen.
And look, and Adrian says, "Amen."
Hold on, Ron. Let's go back. I know we don't want to go back really quick, but this is addressing the Netflix thing. Jazzy said, "No, G." Netflix changed the category and reclassified it under kids. That's what I thought I had saw.
Yeah.
Versus, but I think both can be true. I believe that a lot of people were doing that, maybe going under children's accounts because we have. I mean, it comes installed a children's account just to be on the safe side to have it. So people are probably giving it as many looks as possible. Yeah. So yeah.
And it is good. It is good for young people to see it because it really. When she talks to the students in several of those parts of the documentary, there are students she's talking to that are in high school.
Yep.
So
they actually interviewed some people in Philadelphia. I remember when they did it. They know someone who was in charge of that the girls group that was there that did the little roundtable discussion with her.
So I want to address something here. Let's go here to the saves, and there was a couple of these things. Guys, for those that don't know, I get lots of stuff in my DMs from so many of you, and from some that are part of the community but can't be here, and they always send me information and clips, and so this was interesting, and I thought it should be shared. So let me just get this up on the screen. It's it has a little link to it, but you'll understand. I want to talk about it. And let's get that on this. Hold on a second. There we go. Let's get it going here. Share. And this is pretty good. I like this. Here we go.
Protesters murdered, ballots seized, child sex trafficking exposed, communities terrorized, children detained, oligarchs censoring democracy, eroding. Every week there's something new. Another crisis stacked on top of the last, another norm shattered before it can even be mourned. And I sit here right now bracing for the next shock. But what's more exhausting than the endless scandals is what never actually follows. No justice, no arrest, no consequences, no accountability. Instead, truth tellers are punished. Power is protected. Cruelty is exposed. The vulnerable pay the price. Some days this doesn't just feel like tyranny. It feels like inevitability. And I don't know about you, but I start to wonder, can this even be stopped? This is the twisted upside down world we're being asked to accept. And this is exactly where they want us, living with an inability to imagine anything other than what is. But here's what I want you to know. This chaos isn't just a byproduct of incompetence. It's like engineered disorder. Exhaustion isn't just an accident, it's a strategy. Here's what I mean. Authoritarians don't just conquer land, they colonize our minds. They don't just control laws and armies, they capture our imagination. They don't just like flood the zone, they occupy our eyes. They don't just seek power, they hijack our attention. Why? Because if people believe this is just how things are, they stop imagining how things could be. So they overwhelm us to disorient us. They disorient us to exhaust us. They exhaust us in hopes to immobilize us. So what do? Well, we keep showing up. We keep imagining a new world, and we keep working to implement that new world. Authoritarians are frightened by the artists, educators, pastors, journalists, organizers, anyone who refuses to call their evil good and insist a new world is possible. So every morning, every news cycle, every election season, we become an inconvenient persistence. We stay, we show up, we work until denial gets tired, until comfort cracks, until the truth can no longer be ignored, until a world of justice, equality, and hope breaks through. And by doing so, we remind the world love cannot be exhausted. Truth cannot be buried, memory cannot be erased, and we will not disappear. Friends, a new world is possible, and we are ushering her in.
What do you guys, I mean, to me, that was one, I love something that really inspires and really gets me going. What do you guys think of this, that clip, any draw anything from it? Go, Gwendolyn. I see those eyeballs. When we see Gwendolyn's eyes moving, we like this. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to, here's where I struggle with my words. And this is an honest admission. Mm-hmm. As Jazzy, don't be laughing at me, man. As a Black woman, right? As I was telling some friends yesterday, like, I came out of the womb fighting, right? Come out of the womb fight. Like, I know I said this months ago, but it takes a lot to get up every day as a Black woman and consciously choose joy. It takes a lot, right? So I hear what he is saying. And yes, I agree with it. I just need more people who look like him to say more and get out on the street and do something else. Because for me, it's kind of like, been there, done that for I'm catching myself, for a very long time. So one part of me is mildly frustrated. Another part of me is inspired. Another part of me is like, have we not said that? Did we not say that? And it's almost, it's one of those where And I'm not saying it's him, but there are a lot of people, again, their privilege has allowed them to ignore what has been happening in this country since its fucking inception. I'm just like, okay. So now what? Right? Like, is that the rally cry for him and his community to like get up and do something? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm sitting down. I'm not doing not a damn thing. Not out on the streets. I'm not doing anything there. So I don't know. I am literally conflicted. I hear the inspiration, but I'm also like, God, I'm just so tired. I don't know.
And I understand that because, you know, I think sometimes, I know what they can't realize about us is that we see through all of the wanting you to be exhausted because we've been through it. Everything. We've been through all the killings of our people. That never stopped and it still continues, right? We've been through all of those things. And he's absolutely right for people who don't understand that that they want to keep you exhausted. They want you not to know, not to think about what it is that they're actually doing. I always tell people, you know, you see and hear what they're saying, what they're doing. That's what a real story is, right? And what their intents. And it keeps you off focus if you're worried about, oh, they're going to go and send ICE to the Olympics. They're going to send ICE here. But at the same time, you want to say, you got to pay attention to, well, Steve Bannon just came out and said, we're going to have ICE people surround polling places. That's where you need to be focused on those kinds of things. Not that I'm going to go vote. They probably won't be surrounding the place that I go vote, but it's going to be there for some people. And I think that they really do want to exhaust you. And I think what they don't, and I was looking at this and talking to some young people over the weekend. My son and I went to Dim Sum. He has a very diverse group of friends. And so there were 3 of them from different, were, you know, Black Americans, and there were 3 who weren't. One was Chinese, one was Hispanic, the other was from East. And and at one point I said, let me just talk to you 3 right now, so you can understand what we already have seen. And you know, they're willing to learn, they're willing to, but I think that they just aren't as, and to say we haven't normalized it as people. We don't normalize any of it. But we know what's out there. We also know, I heard someone, I think I reposted it, describe it perfectly. What would happen when they keep calling for us to go out, right? They said, and it's like almost like a skit, a cartoon animated skit. It says, so if black people are saving your lives by not going out there. Because when we go out there, this is what they're going to bring out. And because we haven't gone out, they're bringing it out now on you all. But they would have brought it out if we had shown up. Because you take those journalists who were arrested. They weren't the only journalists out there.
That's right.
Why were they all Black
that were arrested?
You know, so you have to think about that. And even in some of the early protests, the minute a Black woman missed the protest, she was arrested. Surrounded by 100 white people doing the same protest, but she was arrested. And so it's not about us trying to say we're not concerned or interested, but we know the impact because we know what's happened already. We've had the dogs, we've had the hoses, we've had the bullets, we've had the gassing, we've had the lynchings. We've seen that. And we know what it is. And we know what it means. It's like, you know, I think about when I saw the movie Glory. And when they decided that our people could fight, where did they put them?
On the front line.
In the front.
To be killed first.
Where would they put us? In the front. It's not time for us to be in the front right now. That's all I have to say about that. But it is time for us to stay conscious and not be distracted. And I'm going to say it every time I come on here. Keep talking about November. I'm talking about February. This month primaries start.
It starts. That's right.
They're trying to pull registrations now. They've already stolen all of Georgia's information. They were going after Minnesota's. They were trying to go after California. So they're doing all of this pre-primaries. I want people to stay woke. the fact that we gotta be conscious and fully aware of everything. And I know people asking me some questions in my past life was, did you watch Ronald Reagan last night? I said, no, I was watching because I want to know what you're gonna do when it's time for us to do something. Mm-hmm. So we got to be focused on when they're coming after these voter registrations, where pre-primaries, they keep distracting you about. We got to be focused on February. Some primaries start
February and March. There's a couple of these primaries coming.
And there's some special elections that are happening.
Special elections.
Come on, Texas. Glad y'all came on out.
Yes, Texas did something this week.
Man, they are running scared down here. They run scared.
Texas did something.
They just knew they had it in the bag. They just knew. But it's like I mentioned last year when they had the school district, elections. Thank you.
Board of Education. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, voted all of anybody who had any ounce of red in them completely removed across the board. I don't know why they don't look at that, because people think, well, it's a local election. It's not that big a deal. Them people showed up and they keep showing up. They really thought they had that. Ooh, they are running scared down here. Yeah, seriously.
I saw the thing you posted. They're awake now.
Yeah. That's I tried to vote, but I was like, oh wait, he's on the other side of Tarrant County, because I was ready. I was like, I'm finna come for Taylor. I could not vote, but everybody else showed up. So yeah,
it was on the side for my family, and I told you as soon as Gwendolyn posted, I was like, okay, I need you. You had just had knee surgery. I said, honey, I'm gonna need y'all to go vote.
You gotta vote.
They went to vote. I said, they said, yes, that's our area, and I said, I need you all to go vote.
Wow. Well, it's time to wrap it up. But that was, I think, as in, I love the encouragement of it all, but I do also see that his audience is the Caucasian people of this country, and that they do need to wake up, and that they do need to come to a place where, because without sound, I have a great deal of white friends that don't really still get some things, and they are and I'm saying this, trying to use this word they are a little fragile about all of this. They, it's like, oh my gosh, they're attacking, they go into worry land, and then they lose hope. And Black folks, again, we've been dealing with this for a long time. So we're out there. We do what we need to do. We keep pressing on. We keep moving. We have to do that every day. We have to do that at our workplaces. We have to do that when we go to any place in the world, especially in America.
So, Ron, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
With these fragile friends.
Yes.
What do you say?
I probably should say colleagues.
Colleagues. What are you saying to them?
So this is interesting. This happened on this week. I went to a historical event in the city, History on Harlem. It's fascinating, about pre-Harlem, before it became Black, and then how it became Black, and where it is now. And so there was this gentleman at my table, and he's a white guy, and his husband is Black. So we're sitting there. And his husband and I just meet. These are not. They're colleagues from the chamber, and I had just met these folks at the table, and so we're talking, and I mentioned several things, and the husband agreed, but the white guy said, "Oh, it's not that," and his husband's like, "No. It is that bad. It is." So here it is, someone that's married to a Black man. So I'm sitting there like, no, you may not understand. This is our lives every day. And then his husband chimed in. We kept going back and forth. But here it was that he is married to a Black man and still did not understand the fight.
So let me tell you my response years ago when somebody told me, when a new principal came down the street to my kids' school, and they said, well, you know what? She's married to a black man. I said, so is Clarence Thomas's wife. And how does that benefit us? It only when that black person talks about blackness and black reality and black history, educate their partners. That's the only time it matters. Like people at the table, the one guy from India, when I told him about Caste, I must have been over a year or so ago. He went and got it. He's since read One of Other Sons. He said, because I want to understand it.
Yeah.
He's read The Bluest Eye. He said, is that how things work? I said, yeah, that's how beauty works. And he was like, he said, all he could do is put his hand over his head when he read that book. But the whole thing is, it's to our world.
Yeah.
This is what we've lived through. And you growing up in America have chosen to ignore, to be willfully ignorant of, until you saw people look like you having the consequences of it.
Yeah.
That's what people are. And you know how confrontational, I don't call myself confrontational. How should I say it? I guess I'm confrontational.
You are, but for good trouble.
Yeah, it's good trouble. My thing is,
good trouble.
I'm gonna make you think. I'm gonna make you acknowledge that you have chosen. In this country, there's no person, because you think about it now. I talked earlier about the MAGA people and how uneducated were. You're sitting there with two educated people.
Yeah, the white, the husband that was white.
Yeah,
he also worked for the embassy. He worked in several countries. We talked about travel. This was not an uneducated person. There was someone well traveled, had been a lot of places, been with prime ministers. I mean, the list goes on. But his ignorance, even, and I just sat there. He wasn't being mean or malicious, but his husband and I had to set him, and had to set him straight that this is our lives every day.
And it probably helped that you were there. It probably helped his husband that you were there to say this, because you think about it, as he was around the world and interact with all of these different people, he's still in his privileged box.
Yes, he's very privileged,
and he's not looking at the world of even the people that in the countries that he goes to visit.
Yes,
he's just doing a job.
Yes.
So now when it comes, I hate to use Malcolm X, when the chicken comes home to roost, now you got to look at what's in your nest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. And that's their reality. And stop. Yeah. Anyone, I don't care who they are, anyone who's decided to sit, especially educated people, and say, well, it's not, that's because you don't want to know what the reality was.
Yes.
You didn't want to know.
You got to know.
It's a very good chance, too, that his husband has brought those things to his attention.
Yes.
And he willfully chose to ignore it. He's like, no, you're just overreacting. That's not what they did. Like, they're not thinking that. So, again, having you there to co-sign for his husband to be like, yeah, no, that happens. You may have made a small dent, but again, it's true.
I didn't really think about it until you're just saying it. I remember how, as I was sharing our story and our struggle, and the husband did light up. He said, no. He's right. he got so as in, I think you're right. I mean, he's probably had this conversation with his husband many times, but the husband just could not get it.
Yeah.
But hearing it from another Black person, besides someone that's so close, may have, caused some kind of curiosity. May have. But he does. This person has done, he is the life of privilege. He is white privilege on steroids. Okay. And
when you look at some of those couples who are interracial like that, like Black and white. So I look at some of the people who are well known, and they, they're Black, their partner's white, and then you see when they go out and you see them posting pictures, everyone around them is white except for them.
Yeah.
Unless it's family.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think about what he's surrounded by when he's with his husband at these other things. How many people are actually there who look like him and would act those things?
Yeah.
You know, with the people around them. But there's one little thing quick thing I want to talk about before we go.
Go for it.
The one thing that had a little bee in my bonnet, and it came from the Grammys.
Oh.
And it was Shaboozey.
Oh, I love Shaboozey.
And comment about immigrants built this country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I must admit I was a little annoyed by that.
You were annoyed by it?
Absolutely. I'm a Black American, descendant of an enslaved people who did what? Built this country.
That's right.
At no point in there did he acknowledge Black Americans.
Yeah. Okay. I see your point. Okay.
So,
okay. I'm with you. I see
his background, and I had this conversation with a couple of people, the artist that I visited, and we'll talk to this evening over the weekend. Understanding his background, oftentimes, our Black and brown families from the country often neglect to acknowledge the contributions of Black Americans. Now, in his note of afterwards, he was like, "Yeah, my parents are from Nigeria." But okay, so you should have thanked your parents like the one young lady did, and said how her parents were, and from how they were warriors, and how that's where she came from. But that's not what you did. You came up and said, "This country that you're not indigenous to was built by immigrants." I think that I will not allow anyone to discredit contributions that Black Americans, from those whose ancestors have been here and whose backs this country was built on. My ancestors picked that cotton that gave this economy.
That's right.
Built this country. They picked that cotton. I went to the sharecroppers' farms. I would never allow people to discredit that. And every right that all of us, the freedoms that we can experience, is because of those people. Our first civil rights legislation came out about in the 1800s, not 1900s. Because of Black people during Reconstruction, who had, for that period of time, when they were in office, did amazing things. They're responsible for an appropriate education for all people in this country. Every piece of legislation that they're trying to tear down now, that Black people fought and died for, was for all underrepresented, not just Black American people. So that's why I was offended.
Gotcha.
You can give credit. Yes, immigrants come in and they have done amazing things in this country. And yes, they contribute tremendously, but it's all about all of us and how we contribute. Don't say they built this country. So that's my passion about that.
I get you.
I know, and everyone who's come here, their families, and I'm so amazed and so proud that you're able to be here, but you're able to be here because my ancestors bled and died to give you the opportunity. And I love it that you come over here and prospered, but don't let them keep by us not acknowledging each other and what we've done. We can never leave. I can never leave you out, and you can never leave my ancestors out. So that's all I wanted to say.
I love it. And I'm not even saying, I don't even think I need to go through my banners. I think we should just end right there.
Yeah.
Are we on that? Are we in agreement?
Yes.
We're in agreement.
I think so. I think that is how we will end. So, guys, tomorrow we'll be doing our Trend Watch Thursday as we normally do. And but Elise has the last word. See you guys tomorrow.